Hello and welcome to Meghalaya Legislative Assembly channel. Elections are just around the corner and there are several political parties that are fielding candidates for this upcoming elections. To share insight about the Voice of People Party, we have with us the Vice President of the VPP, Dr. Kara Heyman-Chen. Thank you so much for joining us today, sir. So to start off, there are many political parties right now in the state, both national and regional parties. Why was there a need for the VPP in the political space of Meghalaya, sir?
So you see, the VPP was established only a year ago, okay, and we got our registration only a few months back, okay. So before we formed this political party, we had a discussion. A group of us had a very thorough discussion about whether to float a new political party or not. So after we had a very 2-3 days discussion, we feel that there is a need for a new political party, a new state political party, regional political party, because we feel that the existing political party, especially the regional political parties, most of them have failed the people, okay. So we feel that in order to do something for the good of the people of the state, we feel that there is a need to start a new political party, and we took a decision a year ago to start this political party with the name and nomenclature of the Voice of the People Party.
Sir, can you tell us what is the political ideology of the VPP?
Now, I think you have heard, in several meetings, we have stated very clearly, that the ideology or the philosophy of the Voice of the People Party is clean politics and zero tolerance to corruption, and also, to protect the interests of the indigenous people of the state without compromising the constitutional rights of other residents of the state.
So would you say that the VPP is a conservative party?
You see, as a political party, you must understand, a political party, tries to capture power. So it must, try, to get the support of the majority. But at the same time, like I said, that the VPP is a new political party, a state regional political party with the purpose of capturing power in the state. And at the same time, to get the support of the majority of the people, okay. But doesn't mean, that the VPP, will concentrate only with the interest, of the majority, the indigenous people of the state. But at the same time, it will also take care, of the interests of other residents or friends that are here in the state of Meghalaya. So I don't think, that the VPP is, a conservative party.
Okay, sir, you talked about capturing power. Sir, what we want to ask you is, so the VPP is fielding around 16 to 18, you mentioned, candidates for this coming election.
Yes.
And you're mostly focusing on the Khasi and Jaintia region. Yes, sir?
Yeah, for the time being.
For the time being, sir.
Okay. In the years to come, we will try, to expand the presence of the party to other areas of the state.
So what is the party's goal for this election, sir?
For this coming election, we are trying, to put up candidates as many constituencies as possible. But at the same time, like I said, that we have, to check, whether the candidates are good or whether, they're okay, according to the ideology and philosophy of the party. We cannot just take any candidate, to contest for the party. So which is why, for the time being, we expect that we will be able, to put up around 15 to 20 candidates, okay, for this election. But in the years to come, we may put up, in all the constituencies, and we may extend, the presence of the party not only in this part of the state, in this Khasi Jaintia region, but also to other parts of the state like Garo Hills.
Adding to that question, sir, how do you look at the party's prospects for this election?
You see, as a political party, once we contest the election, we hope, that we will be able, to win a good number of seats. We don't know how much. It depends on the people, the support of the people. But once we contest the election, we expect, that we will be able, to win a number of seats, so that we will be able to influence, the politics of the state.
Now that the VPP has long started its campaign, I'm sure, sir. Yes. So what are the main agendas, and what is in your manifesto, what are the key highlights that you're taking to the people, sir?
So as a political party, we would like, to take care, of some very important issues like employment, okay, education, healthcare, environment, then tourism, which is very important, for employment for the youths of the state. And then we would also like to include, issues like the inner line regulation, then to try, to get a special status, for the state of Meghalaya under Article 371. These are some of the important issues that we would like to put on our manifesto.
So you talked about employment and various other things for the youth, and we see that the VPP is also fielding quite a good number of young candidates, sir.
Yes.
So can you tell us more about the different candidates that the VPP is fielding?
We have young and old. Of course, like you said, some are young and some are educated also. And like I said, that right from the beginning, as a political party, we feel, that when we put up candidates, we should put up good candidates who are, educated and who will be in a position, if they are, elected as members to the Legislative Assembly, they should be able to deliberate, in the floor of the House. Okay, not just, a representative is not only for his constituency, but he's there, to deliberate and discuss, to make laws, in the floor of the Assembly. Okay, so that is how we select our candidates.
So as a new political party, has the party, or have you discussed on what is the vision of the party for Meghalaya?
We feel, that a political party, because, for the last 50 years, we have seen what happened, to the state of Meghalaya. Not much is achieved, okay. So we feel, that, and a lot also has been destroyed, okay. So we feel, that as a political party, we will try, to revive, restore, and bring about change, in the state of Meghalaya. If at all, we are in a position, to do so, if the people of the state elects us to the assembly.
So, if your results, the VPP's results, are quite positive, is the VPP open to a post-poll alliance to form government?
Yeah, you see, as a political party, like I said in the beginning, the objective is to get power, to be in the government, to govern. But at the same time, in a parliamentary democracy, it depends on the number. Okay, and as you know, in the state of Meghalaya, since except for the first election, 1972, where, the then APHLC won the election with a clear majority. After that, in every election, no party was able, to get a clear majority in the floor of the assembly. Okay, so because of that, right from 1978 till date, after every election, we will always have a coalition government. Okay, so what I feel is that even in this coming election also, it's very clear, that no single political party will be in a position, to get a clear verdict. It will always be a fractured mandate. So as far as we are concerned, we feel, that if we have to be in the government, it will not be, that we'll just go and be a part of the government. We feel, that before we be a part of the government, there should be very strong conditions. Okay, we will be a part of the government only on the basis of certain conditions, and not on the basis, of a political convenience and ministerial birth. That is what we have already decided. It should be on the basis of very strong certain conditions, and not on the basis of ministerial post or political convenience. That is what we have decided as a political party.
So as a party, have you sort of have an idea with which party you would like to form an alliance with?
That it's very difficult to say. Of course, we have already discussed about this, but right now we have to wait first for the outcome of the election, then only. But we would like, to work with like-minded political parties.
So say if the BJP or the Congress or NPP or TMC, have you thought about, sir, the political ideologies of this party and if it...
Yes, but like I said, because, in the state of Meghalaya, like I said, right from except for the first election, in every election, it is always a fraction mandate and it's always a coalition government. So we have to see whether, other political parties are willing to accept those conditions that we put before them. And if they don't, we will sit in the opposition, because you see, serving the people is not only being in the government. Serving the people is also in the opposition. The political parties can serve the people even by being in the opposition, because in a parliamentary democracy, you'll always have the ruling side and the opposition side.
So coming to a question about the party again, sir, you mentioned earlier that you have some long-term plans for the party. For the party, the Voice of People Party. So is there a roadmap? How do you see the party in, say, 5 to 10 years, sir?
So you see, as a political party, once we, we are a party and we have participate, in the political system, we feel, that we should move ahead, Right now, like I said, that we are not in a position to field many candidates, because we have to, do a very thorough checking, of the candidates. But maybe after this election, and as we proceed, and especially depending on the response of the people, we have, to expand. We have to, like I said, we will, right now it is mostly in the East Khasi Hills district, 1 or 2 candidates, from Jante Hills, West Council, and Rimhoy district. Maybe in the other elections in the future, we may put up candidates in all the district, including Garo Hills. And then we can also decide, to next year is the district council election. We may contest the district council election, or maybe, we may contest, the parliamentary election, which will be coming in 2024.
So the VPP is a people-funded party, yes?
I won't say a people-funded party, but right, we are a party. We don't. We feel, that we should not depend totally, on money power. Because right from the beginning, we feel, that, any political party which depends on money power, or, representative, elected, on the basis of, of money power, they are, most of the time, they are not accountable to the people. Okay? I think you have noticed, the present government or even the previous government, how they function. You can understand, that they fail, to respond to the needs of the people. And in fact, most of the representatives, are not at all accountable. Why? Because, they won with the support of money power. And they are least concerned, about the interests of the people. So that is so as far as we are concerned, we feel, that we should, the people should support us, because they feel, that we will be able, to do something for their benefit.
So, adding more to the issue of money power, is it true, or do you feel, as per your observations, like you have already mentioned that money power plays a big role, but then what percentage do you think money power affects elections in the state?
Well, percentage-wise, to say specifically how much, it's very difficult to say, but you cannot deny the fact, that money plays a very important role, in every election and in this present election. And I think it came out in the press that even the chief electoral officer also said, that, money power plays a very important role in a large number of constituencies. And we as a party also, when the members of the election commission came to visit the state a few days back, we told the members of the election commission, that the election commission should take note, of the role of money power in a number of constituencies in the state of Meghalaya.
So, what do you think of anti-incumbency?
This thing, that's a very good question. This is very interesting, because you see, if you try to compare Meghalaya with other states of in other parts of the country, okay, you'll notice, that, anti-incumbency is very strong, okay? And most of the time, it's very difficult, for the incumbent government, to come back to power. But in the state of Meghalaya, this anti-incumbency is not very strong. But this time, I feel, that the people are very unhappy, with the performance, of the present government. Okay, I think you are aware. I don't have to say anything on that. I don't want to point finger, but I think you have heard, you have read, in the media, about how, people are very unhappy, with the functioning of this present government.
Sir, thank you so much, sir, for joining us today. Thank you for being with us and, sharing some time for us, sir. So that was Dr. Kara Heyman Chen, who spoke to us about the Voice of People Party. Thank you so much for joining us today.